Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I hope I'm not scaring anyone, but yeah, this evening we're gonna do a nighttime skincare routine, and yeah, I'm just gonna be using the products and we will talk. And so to start with, I have prepared my skin with this skin essence, kombucha skin essence from Fresh. I love this product because it's non-exfoliating and it's really gentle and kind to skin. So at the moment I'm staying away from exfoliating because as I said in my last video, we are entering winter, and anytime we start winter, my skin just breaks out and it self-exfoliates, so I stay away from exfoliating products a little bit. So yeah, I love this kombucha skin essence. It's really beautiful. I got it from I think I got this one from Look Fantastic, but it's there at Cult as well, Cult Beauty. And so next on here, I've got my my eye patches, my eye mask patches. And yeah, I love these eye mask patches. I bought them from Amazon. So they are green tea, matcha green tea and collagen. The thing with these eye patches, I suffer from dark circles and dryness underneath my eyes, and they work amazing. They are fantastic. So anytime I have a moment, I try and use them for like 3 to 5 minutes. One thing I love about this particular brand, even though it's from Amazon, they dry so quickly. They are really amazing. I've used some before where the serum doesn't go in, they don't dry, but yeah, I really love this one. So I just pop them underneath my eyes and I pat all the serum in, and yeah, they dry so quickly, and they are useful in getting rid of those under eye circles, and they are good at depuffing the eyes if you've got that problem, and they're anti-aging. So what's not to love? They've got collagen in them. They're anti-aging and anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. That's green tea for you there. So yeah. So this afternoon I've just watched the movie Blonde. Following the story or the life of Marilyn Monroe. I know in these movies sometimes they add on a bit of salt and sugar and spice to make things, a bit interesting. But all in all, I watched that movie and I was crying all the way through. I was crying because honestly, I never got to follow the life of Marilyn Monroe, but I was like, damn, is this how life was for this long gone celebrity? Like, you see Marilyn Monroe's pictures here and there, and she's always portrayed as this glamorous person, and kudos to the actress that played her role, because she did it very well. She's pretty as Marilyn Monroe, and I feel like she portrayed the character really well. But then obviously I didn't know much about Marilyn Monroe, but yeah, I say kudos to her, because I feel like she was beautiful, and Marilyn Monroe was portrayed as this beautiful person. She was beautiful, but damn, my God, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't watched it. But yeah, I mean, it really hit me. It really hit me. I got very emotional watching it, because for me it portrays it talks about something that is still happening today. These women celebrities trying to I wouldn't say get fame. I'm not going to go down the cruel path. It's somebody who's trying to survive, because they all go through these auditions and whatnot, trying to survive. And instead of somebody giving you the job fair and square, or saying no, you didn't get the job, they decide to sleep with you. And it's something that happens, and it's like, yeah, it was painful to watch. Really, for me, it was really painful to watch. you know, and part of me, because, you know, I'm non-pillow, and I'm like, you know, I'm a fire sign, you know, part of me, I'm like, why do you allow this on yourself? Why do you, like, I kept yelling at the TV, going, you can get out, you can get out, you doesn't have to go down that way. But yeah, it was really, like, it was really trying for me. So yeah, anyway, moving on to the next product. I'm gonna remove this. So I feel like it is a worth watch for anybody who hasn't watched it. I mean, it's a worth watch, but yeah, be warned, it is emotional, and if you've gone through that type of stuff, you know, my heart goes out to you. And if you've come out of it alive, because Marilyn Monroe, she ended up committing suicide in the movie, and I went to Google how she died. Yeah, she overdosed. So yeah, it was really painful for me. It was really painful for me because, you know, I feel like I'm an advocate for women, because I know exactly what women go through in life to survive, to put food on the table, especially these days, where, you know, if the situation is challenging, men decide to walk out on the family. So from the beginning, in the beginning of the movie, you can tell that Marilyn Monroe, you know, or this girl who is brought up, although Marilyn Monroe is not her real name, she has a mother who is not okay mentally herself. You know, she's not okay mentally herself. So how is she gonna pass down information that is useful, you know, to this girl? So yeah, this is my synchronized advanced night repair eye concentrate matrix. So yeah, my eye serum, favorite. It's good at tackling dark circles as well, so I'm just gonna, you know, use that as a mirror. Yeah, so how is this child, or how is this little girl supposed to know any better if the mom is not okay in the head? How is she supposed to grow up knowing the word no when the mom hasn't taught her the word no, if you know what I mean? So it is difficult for girl children out there, you know, to navigate society when they were never given any, you know, any information. So yeah, it really drained me. So yeah, that's my eye serum. So I'm just gonna pat that in, let that sink in, let that dry. Okay. Right, so next up I'm gonna use the Ordinary Buffet. These are your peptides. So you've got your anti-aging. Yeah. So if I'm doing a nighttime routine, I use more of the anti-aging products, and I focus on anti-aging and hydration mostly. So yeah, just to give my skin time to regenerate and, you know, and whatnot. So yeah, the thing that struck me the most, and that really affected me with this movie or drama, is the fact that she sort of like knew what was happening wasn't the correct thing for herself, but it's that failure of saying no. And for some reason, she came across to me like that person who says, oh, well, you know, this is how life is like. And more so, sorry if I'm ruining it for anybody, more so, I noticed that with each and every husband of hers, she kept calling them daddy. And me, I'm like, why do you call these people daddy? That's not your daddy. It's because the dad was never present in her life, and all she wanted was to see her dad. Yeah, so every husband, this is alpha arbutin, by the way, guys. It's good at tackling hyperpigmentation, melasma. It's got zinc in here, so good at protecting your skin from any sun damage. But yeah, it brightens your skin, gets rid of hyperpigmentation and melasma. So if your skin is dull, you may as well spoil yourself to some alpha arbutin. It's not expensive at all. It's less than £10. So yeah, I love alpha arbutin. And I feel like it's good for dark skin, for what do they call it, melaninated skin with melanin. So yeah, so I'm just gonna put that in. So yeah, that was my frustration. And what annoyed me, the dad kept writing letters, and I'm like, why do you keep writing letters saying you're gonna show up but you never do? And every time that girl would be will be excited to say, oh, I'm gonna see my daddy, I'm gonna see my daddy. And every man she gets entangled with, she calls them daddy. And I feel like she never had a life, because all what happened to her was being used. So she was being used as this pretty person who is bringing in money with her with her career, with her acting and stuff like that. And she was also used sexually. So there was no hope for her. She gets a man, and that man ends up beating her up. So I was just like, it's that thing of anywhere you run, there is gonna be something coming for you. She didn't have any rest. I really felt tired and exhausted for her, because anywhere she went, it's like, there's men everywhere. She was mostly celebrated by men, but not for the good reasons, for the reasons that they're using her sexually. There are men that want to bring in money for themselves using her, and then there are men that just want to have their way with her. And neither at some point did she ever live her life, as a person. She never lived her life. And it is exhausting to be a person who is always on demand. Like, people are like, okay, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. And then if you think, okay, I'm out of the job, I'm going home now, or can I have a separate life, there's somebody who wants you sexually. It can be exhausting. So I really felt exhausted for her. So on to the next product. This is hyaluronic acid from CeraVe, and I love this particular hyaluronic acid because it's got ceramides. So ceramides are good for cushioning the skin, healing the skin, hydrating the skin. So I feel like you get a bargain for your money. And CeraVe is not really, it's not really expensive. And I love the formula because it's sort of like a moisturizer. So yeah, I mean, anyone who hasn't watched it, they need to watch it. But yeah, I'm commenting on it because I feel like it hit home. It hit home because that is something that hasn't happened to me personally, but it used to happen even in Africa. Back in the day, you would, as a girl child, you would apply for a job, but you've got competition. And because you're a female, you go for the interview, you go to a manager's office, and only for them to have their way with you before they can give you a job. Anybody who grew up in Africa would agree with me. The manager, as long as it's a man, most cases they will sleep with you before they can give you a job. And in Harare there was a saying, they used to call it carpet interview, because they just sleep with you on the floor, because you're in the office, there is no bed, sleep with you on the floor, and then they say, oh, you've got the job. You didn't get the job for your skills. You didn't get the job because you interviewed well. You got the job because you had to submit, in a sense, and sleep with somebody before they can give you a job. And that's just nasty. That's just nasty because it takes away your freedom. There is no freedom. You haven't been allowed to show your skills and show your intelligence. You haven't. You walk in the door and someone goes, oh, well, we don't have to do this interview, but I can sleep with you before we can, and then the job will be yours. So I feel like that's why, you know, Marilyn Monroe did not associate with her job as Marilyn Monroe on the big screen, because she was like, you know, I didn't work for this. I got in expecting an interview, and this man just slept with me and gave me the role. So she wasn't really impressed with her role as Marilyn Monroe, because first of all, that wasn't her name. Second of all, she did not interview for the job. She went in hoping to interview, hoping to audition, but the man just whipped, you know, her undies off and just slept with her. Sorry if I'm being a bit too much, but it really, like, it really, the whole thing really, like, got to me, and it made me think of what was happening back home when you go for the interview and the manager says, well, if you're not sleeping with me, get out of the office. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. So I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but yeah, let's just finish that off, make sure that's dried up. Yeah. And so on to the next product. My lips are a bit dry, so I'm gonna use my favorite balm, lip balm from Nuxe. And I love this balm, not because of the way it applies, I've said so, but what it does. It really does hydrate and heal the lips. And the thing with it, you don't have to keep applying. You apply it in like 3-4 hours, your lips are still hydrated. Whereas some of these lip balms, you have to apply 3-4 times in an hour. That's a sign to say the lip balm is not doing its job, because it's supposed to hydrate your lips that you go for hours before you can even reapply anything. So yeah, that's why I love this lip balm, because you don't have to keep applying. And if any time I'm struggling with my lips, it really actually does a good job in treating and sealing them. So yeah, I love it. And the next thing I'm gonna apply is my eye cream, just to seal in all those serums around my eyes. Sorry, yeah, I'm just gonna go in with CeraVe. Now this one is it's got hyaluronic acid and the ceramides as well. So the one thing I love about CeraVe, it's quite cheap, it's quite affordable, so it's easy to just, you know, collect a ton of skincare from CeraVe and not even feel the pinch. You know, people are always saying, oh, your skincare is expensive. Guys, I don't always buy expensive skincare. I buy it as a treat, and I may use it once a week or twice. But yeah, it's not every expensive skincare that I buy that I use on a daily basis, because sometimes I don't even need to use it. But yeah, I love CeraVe. It never disappoints on the price, and it works really well. Yeah. And in the evening, I always prioritize my eyes, because, you know, they are the first to go as we get old. Do you know what I mean? They are the first to go. I mean, if the time is if the time is up, they start looking tired, and they feel dehydrated, and the lines are popping out, and you're like, oh my god. So it's really important and crucial to take care of your eyes as early as possible. And of course, better late than never. So yeah, the next, or the last product which I'm going to use is this turmeric moisturizer from Cora Organics. I love this moisturizer, or the cream. It's more like a cream, not a moisturizer. I love it for night treatment, because it's quite thick. It's very thick and it's very hydrating. I wouldn't apply it during the day, because I feel like it doesn't work well with foundation. It can be a bit greasy and a bit heavy. So yeah, I love it for night treatment. Yeah. It is a bit on the pricey side though. So if you're on a budget, don't buy it. You know, I'd rather you save your money. I'm not here to advertise expensive products just so people are out of pocket. It's skincare, guys. It's not anything. It is important, but it's not the end of the world if you don't, buy some of these products. But I like it because I love turmeric. It's good for skin. It's anti-aging, which is a surprise. It's anti-aging. It takes care of hyperpigmentation, melasma. I feel like turmeric does roughly everything. It does roughly everything. So yeah, anti-aging, hyperpigmentation, melasma, and yeah, it's really good. Gets rid of spots, it hydrates, it brightens your skin. So what's not to love? I do get through quite a bit of a product when I'm using that thing of pea size, that people talk about. It doesn't apply with me because I always feel like I've got a big face. And if I'm using, especially if I'm using a moisturizer, I want to feel that my skin is hydrated. So yeah, I mean, sorry if I messed it up for anybody who hasn't watched the movie Blonde, but still go and watch it because there's a lot in there, especially for young girls. There's a lot in there that they can learn, about the idea of having confidence in yourself, having confidence to say no, having confidence to stand your ground and state your own terms, because that's what Marilyn Monroe wasn't doing or didn't do. It was to state her terms. And the thing is, she was really good on screen, but the one thing that I never saw with her was whether she was being paid or not. Because I feel like she was there bringing in all the money, getting in all the numbers, but I don't think she was even being paid. I really don't think, because I never saw her like celebrating her own success in terms of money. Like, like how you see Beyonce driving these expensive cars and whatnot. I didn't see that with Marilyn Monroe. So I feel like she lived a sad life of just working, getting the money for somebody else, and on to the next man who's gonna use her sexually, and then it's the next thing tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow until she couldn't take it and ended her life. So yeah, it's a movie to watch. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's very emotional. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to my rant, and thank you so much for being part of my nighttime skincare routine. Kudos. Love you too. Bye.